And one thing that we always want to make sure of, first of all, when we sort out the problem is that something treatable? There is always time to give a bad diagnosis for which you can't do anything about. He didn't have any additional symptoms, but one of the things that we always think about whenever we have a lesion of that kind is, could this be an inflammatory process, and could this be something like sarcoidosis? Sarcoidosis is very protein in manifestations, but one thing that we'll always look for is presence of systemic sarcoidosis. And so he got a scan of his chest, and that's where really I think the diagnosis became to consolidate, because there were abnormalities consistent with sarcoidosis. Always were a little edgy in the hospital because you don't want to give them treatment because you're always afraid that you're going to wipe out your chance of making the diagnosis. On the other hand, he was worsening, and that's where the decision was finally made on the Saturday night to give him at least one dose, at least to make sure he was not going to crash during the weekend. Yes, I had the honor to come in and give him the good diagnosis at the end when we got the pathology back, and that was obviously a big relief for everyone. At that point, he was started on a full treatment dose and continued the physical therapy. Although he felt like a puppet a little bit with all the strings that we had around him, he did very well. He responded beautifully. We let him go home a few days later. Saw him back a month later, and the repeat scan, the lesion had shrunk immensely. So I'm definitely very, very pleased. He's doing very well clinically. So I think we're all very happy with the way things are going.
My business, you know, you go into work every day, you know, with kind of like a heavy dose of skepticism, right? I come here and I get like an instant shot of humanity. You know, I've had my fill of hospitals and stuff over the past 6 to 9 months, and boy, this one's tops. I'll take this one any day. I could live in this town. Well, I want to help the next guy coming in here, or gal, next patient, right? So that's why I'm giving to Mayo in honor of Dr. Sandroni. Last week, 2:30 in the morning, Pay It Forward was on, I think, HBO 12. You know, they have like 50 of them now. And so I had enough tea in me that I'm watching this thing. Like, well, that's kind of what I'm doing now, right? I call it living and giving, right? It changes your perspective, you know, when you go through something like this and you come back. Because I've been trying to, you know, the last couple of years, you know, dial it down a little bit so I can spend more time with my family. Thank goodness I got the sarcoidosis and I'm able to now. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me. Seriously, it's been great. I walk my kids to school back and forth. All right, so when I see Pay It Forward, the next day, Oprah's on TV with her Duke University commencement speech, right? And she tells everybody at those kids, you know what, your life isn't complete until you help some other life, right? And so, you know, I'm getting the opportunity to do that now.